Alright, so I have been testing this glitch for several hours now, and I am using a workshop item called the Scar Glaive T4. I'll post a link to the workshop page for this, but I'm using this unmodified workshop item, so anyone should be able to subscribe to this item and reproduce the glitch. But basically what I've found is that it has to do with where the targeting reticule is compared to where blocks on your ship are. Now the OP in this thread that I'm posting this on said it had to do with a different cockpit. That is not strictly speaking correct in my opinion. It might have to do with the cockpit because different cockpits might put the targeting reticule in slightly different places. That's the only thing that a different cockpit would affect. I've actually reproduced this glitch with every single SV cockpit at this point. So the glitch happens regardless of cockpit. It's about where your targeting reticule is. And that is the reason why this glitch does not occur in third-person view, because look how far away the targeting reticule is from the ship in third person. It's not close enough to the ship for it to affect anything. It only happens in first person because that's when the targeting reticule is close to your ship. Alright, now watch what happens when I move the targeting reticule over a friendly ship like the MS Titan here. See, it turns red, but it will still fire, right? Now it's white, now it's red. The red is warning you that you are targeting a friendly ship. Okay, now watch what happens when I move the ship without being in front of a friendly. See that? See how the targeting reticule turns red when I move? That's because the targeting reticule is lagging behind my movement. And when I move, it is suddenly, somehow, even though it looks the same on my screen, it is somehow picking up blocks on my ship. Now you can see this in third person view. See how the targeting reticule lags behind my movement? Okay. Now, the way the game works, at least at this point, is mounted weapons will always shoot where the targeting reticule is. It does not matter that they are facing straight forward on your ship. They will fire where the targeting reticule is. See, watch. I'm using plasma cannons because they're easy to see. So see how they fire sideways? Because that's the targeting reticule is lagging behind where I'm pointing the ship. Okay? So they always fire where the targeting reticule is. Now if I'm not aiming at if I'm not hitting anything, look how far they go, right? But what if I'm aiming at a friendly, like this? You see how they change the angle based on where the targeting reticule is picking something up? Okay, so the weapons will fire at a block where the dot in the middle of the targeting reticule is aiming, but if there's no block in front of it, they'll fire straight forward like that. Okay, so what is happening with this glitch is the targeting reticule in cockpit mode is picking up a block on your ship and changing the direction that the mounted weapons fire based on picking up that block. Okay, so watch here, that's fine, but if I move, see how it turns red? Now watch what happens when I fire while it's red. See that? What it's doing is it's picking up a block when I'm moving versus not doing it when I'm stationary. And when it picks up the block while I'm moving, the angle of the projectiles changes radically because it's trying to hit whatever the targeting reticule is focused on, which when it's red, it's focused on a block on my ship. Okay? Now this is happening because this build has a lot of blocks in front of the cockpit, right? Okay. Now that's not even the weirdest part of this glitch. Okay, the weirdest part is with this particular ship, there's something weird going on with this shutter. So whoever made this was pretty clever. They put this shutter here so you can just go straight down inside your ship, and then from getting out in the cockpit, and you can get back up like this and then go back down. Okay, so that's why they did this. But I tried removing a bunch of blocks to see like which blocks are causing this, and I found something really weird. Watch what, see if you look this way, right? There's some like low blocks here, and there's some low blocks in front of the shutter, but the shutter actually, this part of the shutter actually juts up above the blocks. So you'd think it would be the shutter that was in the way, but watch what happens when I remove the shutter. See, now I'm not even moving and the target reticule is permanently red. Weird, right? Like, visually, the shutter is higher than any of the other blocks in front of the cockpit. But for some reason, the game is picking up less when the shutter is on than when it is off. That is very strange, even though the glitch still happens when I'm moving because the reticule lags. And it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense when it's going down, because if it lags, it should be lagging up where there's nothing, but for some reason it still picks something up no matter which direction I'm moving, even sideways. And you see, did you hear that? That's proof that these shots are actually happening, right? Even though they're at weird angles. So it's not just a visual bug. Okay, so now look what happens when I remove the shutter and additional blocks in front of the cockpit, directly where the reticule is. That's one. Now it's fine again. But it still happens when I move, right? I'm reloading here. Right? So I removed one block and it's fine while stationary, but it's still a problem while moving. Okay, so I'm going to remove every single block that's on that same level. Except for the one right in front of the cockpit. Now see that? Tiny little flashes of red. There's one. But most of the time it looks okay. See, that's shooting normally, but I did get it to glitch once. Okay, now I'm going to remove the one right in front of the cockpit. Remember, those are all on the same level. Now I don't see any red at all. Oh wait, there's one. Huh, weird. I guess that was when I was moving sideways. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the ones at the same level on the sides. Whoops, wrong one. That's okay. Remove all of these. Okay, I'm going to remove these two. Now let's see if I get anything at all. Oh, there's a little flash of red right there. Weird. Yep, there's one. Huh. Last time I tried this, this worked perfectly after I removed those blocks. Yep, there's one. There's a glitch. Okay. Seems to happen when I move diagonally. Weird. Okay, well, let's try removing some more. See what happens. This is why this is a good build to test this glitch with, because there's all these unnecessary blocks you can remove. Now I don't see any red at all. not even flashing red. Oh, there's some. What the heck? I can't get it to fire on the red, though. Oh, that must be caused by the asteroids, actually. Yeah. That's not caused by my ship. Okay, so now the glitch doesn't happen. Okay? So the weird thing here is not so much the blocks, right? The weird thing is what is happening with that hangar, that shutter door that is preventing, is partially preventing the glitch from occurring. But when you take it off, it always occurs. Very strange. Now I suspect the glitch will return here. There, see? Now I've got more blocks in front of it, and I can turn the targeting reticule red just by moving. Whereas when it's white and stationary, everything's fine. Now it's glitched. So clearly what is happening is, for some reason, the targeting reticule is picking up blocks on the ship that it is not showing on the screen, meaning the dot is not touching any blocks on the ship, but for some reason when you move, it picks them up. At least now it doesn't do it when you're going down. It only does it when you're going up. Yeah. But I'm going to put this shutter back on. And my suspicion is... well, I'm not quite sure. What's going on here? Oh, I accidentally put it on. Alright. Alright. This glitch is happening basically the same as it was without the shutter. Let's try this. A full block this time. Now look, isn't that weird? There's a block literally right in front of it, but it is not picking it up. It only picks it up when I move. That I do not understand. There is so much I don't understand about this glitch still. It's like, it makes no sense. I've been just pulling my hair out trying to figure it out, but hopefully what I've shown here, like maybe the devs will look at it and see if that'll give them any clues as to what is happening and how to fix it. Because I'm at my wit's end, honestly. Like, it's just crazy. Okay, so that's with the shutter on. Let's try taking the shutter off again and see if this reproduces. No, it does not. For some reason, when I took the shutter off of the original version of this build... let's try this again. It was a permanent, there, see? There it is. Now it's permanent. Permanently red. But if I put the shutter back on... not permanently red anymore, only when moving. Very strange, man. I don't understand why this is happening. I even put a block right in front of the reticule and it did nothing. So I'm at my wit's end. I really don't understand this. That doesn't really, that's not what I wanted. Anyway, hopefully someone with, you know, someone with know-how in this game will look at this video and see if, like, they can figure out, based on these kind of clues, what is happening here. Because I've experienced this glitch many, many times with different builds, and it is so frustrating. because I cannot figure out what is causing it. So I cannot figure out how to build around it. Sometimes it will just happen and I'll be like, it makes no sense. And I'll just remove some blocks and like all of a sudden it doesn't happen anymore. And it's like, what the heck, you know? Anyway, hope that helps somebody out there.